have 3 kids and no money. Why can't I have no kids and 3 money?
There. I know you're going to enjoy that clip. It was from The Simpsons, and there's a reason for that. We're talking about Economy 101. And when it comes to the economy, there's just a whole lot of moving parts. Now, let's understand, fundamentally, we as Americans, we really suffer with bad math skills, just to be honest. And then we don't take the time to figure out, we'll spend more time planning our vacations than our financial future, right? We have no time for that, but we'll plan the next year's vacation well in advance. And then my industry, the securities industry, the financial planners of the world, we say it's a random walk on Wall Street. I mean, this becomes just about as impossible as it possibly can get. We're going to try to take the next 5 minutes or less and really help you drill down to what's the most important thing to look at. And it's none of the things that we typically hear. It has nothing to do with, puts, calls, straddles, variable universal life. I mean, it's just nothing to do with product. It's nothing to do with all the things that so much of the industry spends so much time on. What it really has to do with, and let me pause here for a minute because I think this quote from Einstein kind of helps put things in perspective. Speaking to a group of school children, Albert Einstein once confided, "No matter what difficulties you may have with mathematics, mine were greater." They like that. And maybe he said it best, Einstein did, when he said, "I have no special talents. I'm only passionately curious." So let's be passionately curious if we can, and see if we can develop a sense for being able to see what the economy is telling us. First, let's look at the size. It's about $17 trillion, rounding up, highest ever in 2013 based on the figures from the World Bank. And there's 3 parts to our economy. Number one in the universe as we know it. It's the government spending, it's the business spending, and it's the total consumer spending. Now we want to look at the consumer from 2 ways. Are they spending or are they saving more than they are spending? And then we want to look to see, what is the average consumer doing? And that's where Comer Simpson comes into the equation because he's the best average consumer. If you look at the last 2 elections, we're all sitting on our edge of our seats waiting till midnight to find out the results. And what did we find? Much to our surprise, every single time. It wasn't the fringe states, the coast. It wasn't the Koch brothers, the richest people on the planet. It was Ohio. Who lives in Ohio? Well, Ohio drove the election, and the best example of people in Ohio would be Homer and Marge Simpson. 3 kids, average income in America, $50,000. See, my point is, don't look at the people your neighborhood, the fringes, the rich people. Look at the average person. Let's see what they're doing. Are they spending more than they're saving? Are they saving more than they're spending? If they're spending more, no matter how they get the money, whether it's cash or credit, that's good for the economy. If they're saving more, which is good for themselves to try to achieve financial independence, have a little rainy day fund for things that come up. Most of us don't have 2 months of savings, let alone 6 months of savings. We might be a little better prepared, but each way is going to affect the economy. When we look at the primary driver of this economy, that would be in many ways 78 million people, the boomers, born between 1946 and 1964. That puts Michelle Obama at 50 this year. That puts George W. Bush at 68. Let's add 10 years. How about 20 years? Looking backwards, whether it was Wham-O or Gerber or Mustangs or Monopoly, 78, 80 million people drove those products and services to all-time highs. Now we're in our 70s. What's commanding space in your checkbook in your 70s? Anything other than healthcare? Probably not. Can we look behind us and then help look a little bit ahead of us to see what's going on here? Put interest rates where you like. Put housing prices wherever you like. And you tell me in your 70s and 80s, how much house do you need, want, going to buy? Probably less. So, what I'm going to suggest to you as we wrap this up to try and give you a little better handle on things is look at the economy the way it is. Not through a political lens. And not as it was or the way you remember it. Not as you want it to be or how others see it. Be objective and be curious. Finally, question the status quo. With that, the Money Doctor is out.